Ladies and gentlemen, we have not talked about Ohio in a while, which is surprising, but yet we got another Ohio story. We're definitely going to get into this. We're going to talk about this baby who suffered, should not have suffered. Ridiculous story. We got to tell it. We got to start making these stories go viral because we need to get justice for these kids. We got to be the voice. We got to be the voice for these kids. We're going to talk about her too in just a second. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from lawandcrime.com, so thank you very much for this article. So, an Ohio woman whose 3-year-old son died after being scalded by hot water. What is going on with all this hot water going on, burning these kids? I literally talked about a story just a minute ago with a little girl that I believe was burned by hot water because we still don't even have the real answer to that. But nonetheless, I know what it looks like because I've been burned like that before. But this child, this boy, died of scalding hot water. He was 3 years old at home, and the mother has been indicted following an investigation into the boy's death. Now, at 7:45 a.m. on the morning of January 6th, LaRonda Mims, who's 45 years old, this person right here, and I kept trying to think about, like, what does her face look like? That means she's only a couple years older than me, but why does she look like she could literally be like, I don't know, at least 20 years older than me? Like, she looked like she could be just old. I don't know how you describe it. Like, just look like, God, dog, boy, when you take the weave and braids off of her, woo. It's like if you took a coconut and just chopped all the shit off of it, then you look at this like, God dang it, man. That is a hard knock life, 45 years old in the face. And guess that is the same person out here burning children to death. She looked like, said like Mammy. she looked like if you had a nice bag of chips and you just took it and you just crunched it all up, just crunch, crunch, crunch. And it's just like, this is what you get. That's her face. This is the bag of chips crunched up right here. Like, good Lord, that is not 45 where? Black don't crack, the hell it don't. Anyway, allegedly 45 years old, called 911 to report that her toddler son, and his name is Emmanuel. I don't know if I have his whole name. Let me see if I have his whole name. I think I do. He's 3 years old. His name is Emmanuel Mims. Emmanuel Mims, M-I-M-S. Emmanuel had pulled a pot full of hot water from the stove in their apartment. Lord have mercy. Wow. The water spilled on the boy and he was unresponsive, according to the Columbus Division of Police. He was brought to Nationwide Children's Hospital where life-saving measures were given. Those efforts were unsuccessful and Emmanuel was pronounced dead at 8:18 a.m. He just couldn't survive that. And that sounds like an accident. So now, do we feel sorry for her? Maybe I do. I don't think this being intentional, but you got to be more responsible as a parent. You cost your child his life, somebody has to pay for that. And in this case, it's going to end up being the custodial parent. Now, police noted in their report that the circumstances surrounding the boy's death merited an investigation by the Columbus Police Homicide Unit. The Columbus Dispatch reported that Mims was initially detained by police but was not charged and released from custody. Court records show that Mims was indicted by a grand jury on 2 counts of endangering a child, 1 felony count, and 1 misdemeanor, and 1 charge of involuntary manslaughter. A warrant was issued the same day as the indictment on January 28th. WSYX, a local ABC affiliate, reported that Franklin County Children's Services was working with the family, Latrice Latrice Edgington, a neighbor who spoke to the station, also said that she had seen police officers at the apartment numerous times before the boy's death on January the 6th. So this is where maybe you don't feel so sad for her if they had already been reporting this as a problem. Now that's where your ass don't get no leniency. Right? The family had only started living at the apartment the previous summer. The neighbors saw first responders bringing Emmanuel out to transport him to the hospital the morning he died. She told WSYX the baby had a little mask on his face. Just seeing him, I was crying, seeing him wrapped up in that blanket like that. The Franklin County Coroner's Office, that's a tongue twister, is conducting an autopsy on Emmanuel to determine his exact cause and manner of death. It has not yet been completed, so we don't know yet. But if they deem this to be an accident, maybe she gets lesser charges. But if there was already an investigation that was going on with regard to her misparenting, then this could probably get a hell of a lot worse real quick. But let's take a look at the One News video that I got.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
If y'all would do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. If you have a comment about this, let me know what y'all think. Would y'all call this a flat out accident? Is she negligent? Should she be charged? Should she do prison time? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. But here we go.
Well, new details now at 5. A Columbus mother arraigned today. She is charged with involuntary manslaughter and child endangerment just weeks after her 3-year-old son died. LaRonda Mims began crying in court when the prosecutor described the moments before her son's death. Now, 10 TV first told you about this case when it happened earlier this month at a Franklinton apartment. In court today, the prosecutor said the mother was using an oven and pot of boiling water to heat her apartment. While she was sleeping, her son climbed up near the stove, trying to reach a snack from the cupboard above. The judge set Mims's bond at $250,000.
$250,000 ain't no joke at all. And I get that they are being real harsh because you can't keep having these babies being harmed. You can't. You got to be a hell of a lot more responsible. Tip-top responsible. And with her crying here, I got to tell y'all, I do think it was an accident. But the problem is if there was more that was going on before this, then it's going to be real hard to feel sorry if that's the case. So more is going to come of this, but I saw this and I was just like, man, wow, it just really sucks all the way around. But y'all say it's no excuse. I definitely get for the people who do not want to let this go by the wayside. I want to advocate for all of our children, but I want to make sure that we get this right. So if she was completely negligent and wrong and did something wrong or been doing something wrong, absolutely she needs to be held accountable. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. RIP to Emmanuel. This young prince deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great, and he was not able to reach that and achieve that just because of the circumstance, a pure accident. But let me know what you guys think about this, okay? Thank you.